the family. Yes, we're live. And the name of this live broadcast is I Believe in Money More Than I Believe in God. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I know how that makes you feel inside. Yes, I'm reporting live from the infamous Boom Boom Room.
Hey!
This is the local Boom Boom Room. I was just chilling. I'm in bed and I'm here like, you know what? I was doing some work on the computer. Yeah, this is also semi-office. But don't get twisted. This is the Boom Boom Room. See all of this? Hear that? It's the Boom Boom Room. Now, listen. Hey, peace of the family, peace of the family. What I want people to do, is hear me out. Because what religious folks like to do, oh, you don't believe in God? They try to kiss God's ass so much that once they hear you even question God, oh, I can't talk to you, then you definitely don't follow no legitimate higher being. Because a higher being would say, let's see if we can help this person before we curse them out. And in fact, if you're really spiritual, you wouldn't curse a person out that lacks understanding or needs saving. So I want y'all to save me. And I'm about to do a debate with this Christian, probably tomorrow or the day after. I got a debate coming up online. I'm give him a shot. And I got love for my Christian family. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of fanatical people acting like they don't understand. So let me articulate it better than many have. I believe in money more than I believe in God. Walk with me, people. Walk with me. And share this video. I want you to share this video with the world so they can know how pissed off I am about God. Because y'all want to talk about frauds and scammers. Jesus is the biggest fraud in the black community. He said he coming, he ain't coming. Y'all can give it up. He ain't coming. You want me to worship God? Is this the same God that was in office during 400 years of slavery? You want me to worship a God that was in control of everything, that is omnipresent during the time we was being raped, robbed, pillaged, and castrated? And then you turn around, you look at me and you say, I don't understand how come he don't believe in God. You actually turn around and say, I don't understand. What is there not to understand? What did we do so wrong that out of everybody else on planet Earth, we had to endure over 400 plus years of slavery? And that is not to disregard the trans-Sub-Saharan slave trade, which took place for damn near 1,000 years. Yes, an Arab enslavement before we even encountered these Europeans. So now we're talking about 1,400 years. Plus, that was actually over 1,000 years. We was undergoing that type of subjugation. So what I'm saying is this. We all need a mentor, right? Go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com if you want to empower yourself. The religious mentality is responsible for us being so lazy because we believe someone or something is going to help us out. A bunch of angels going to come out the sky. Jesus is coming at an indefinite time. Homie won't even tell you when he's coming. I can't get away with that. Yo, say that's CP time. Brother Polight, you always late. You running late. Come on, man. Black people got to do better. And Jesus, black people got to do better? But Jesus doesn't? Here we go. You went from the black woman as God to... Because I'm not talking about the God or everybody else serving. Let's stop being ignorant about this. I'm saying you guys believe in a God. Did that God exist during them 400 years of slavery? When they was making sons have sex with their mothers, when they was tying black women that were conceiving to two different horses to run in opposite directions? Did that God exist during that time? And if so, what was the reason we had to go through all of that? Tell me, because we did something wrong, right? But if I was to abuse my wife and convince her somehow it's her fault why I'm abusing her, you know what you would say? You know what you would say to her? You would say, man, you got to get out that relationship. And that's the kind of relationship we are in with God. We are in an abusive relationship with God. We've been beat by him so much. Actually oppressing ourselves because we believe in this thing. We've been abused so much by this concept of God that we are no different from a woman in domestic violence that conceives that she must have done something wrong. Because if you allow yourself to be oppressed long enough, you'll start to conceive that you did something to deserve the oppression. This is called Stockholm Syndrome. And many of you that are religious out there have Stockholm Syndrome. You believe you deserve this ass whipping that we getting served. So after 400 plus years of slavery, we now have to be subject to police brutality. That's what you're telling me. And God is with us too still. With God by your side, who could be against you? The white man, police in general, everybody else around the fucking world. Pardon my language. I ain't supposed to curse in my house. I'm getting turned up. I ain't never did the live stream from the bed. Look at that. I ain't never did it live from the boom boom room. Yeah, live from the boom boom room. We got to do this. So I'm saying, did God take off? All I'm asking people is this. You believe in God? I'm not mad at you. But don't turn around and say, oh, I'm going to unfollow him. He's such an idiot. He don't believe in God. I'm an idiot? Explain to me why God is allowing us to get our balls cut off all them years. Maybe we in punishment for 1 year. Maybe we in punishment for 10. Maybe we in punishment for, it's getting hard to give you any more years. 20 years. But what kind of person's going to put us under a 400 plus year punishment? And even out of it, we still being brutally slain and murdered. Let me ask you something. Those of you that put up those memes, pray for Texas. Didn't God cause the damn flood in the first place? You don't want to talk about that. See, I talk that scary talk. See, we get enough money, we get things done. You can sit there and you can pray all you want, but when's the last time you prayed for a specific amount of money with the understanding that God is going to deliver it right at your front door? Go ahead and pray for your $3,000 that you need for your rent and see if it shows up. Tell the average person, don't do nothing. You're God-fearing, you're loving, you're not doing wrong by nobody. Pray for $3,000 for your rent. Don't go to work. Pray for it and see if it comes. See, we told, pray for health and pray for peace. All general things, right? But when it comes to specifics, we don't want to pray specifically because of the letdown. Because the letdown will let us know it's falling on deaf ears. So here's a proposition. Because I know you're making me out to be the devil right now. I know you're scared. Oh, I'm going to turn this off. He's going against God. I'm going to turn this off. I know I'm the devil right now. I'll be the devil. Now, how about you listen to me and just listen carefully and tell me. Because I know everybody's scared. Oh, my goodness, he don't believe in God. I don't hide this. I get around the best of them. I confide in principalities that exist within us all. But this concept of God that, oh, you can't blame God. I ain't blaming God. He don't exist. Hold on now. Slow down. Someone say, you can't blame God. I can do whatever I want. God's a jackass as far as I'm concerned. If he did exist in the first place. If he did exist in the first place. But let me ask you a question. Since y'all all into God. Let me ask you a question. When 3 people are in a car accident. And 2 of them die. And 1 of them lives. And the family and friends says, well, thank God you're alive. Do you realize you're simultaneously thanking God that the other 2 didn't make it? How the heck can someone survive a car accident that other people died in and you still turn around and thank God? Why don't you just thank God that those people died too? Because that's what you're doing at the same time. Now tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you're not thanking God the other 2 died. Because if you thank God one survived, you're thanking God the other 2 died. You're going to probably, no, that don't make no sense, Polight. No. So watch this. this hurricane that hit Texas. Let's thank God for that situation. Because he's the one in control of all things. He has a special plan. God has a special plan. God has a special plan. And y'all know what y'all saying. Don't question God, Polight. God has a special plan. So y'all tell me, what was God's special plan to do that to a people that is already suffering in Texas as it is? Subject to racism. Now you say HARP. Well, God is in control of all damn things anyway. God can stop HARP. HARP ain't over God. Oh, let me guess. God is just letting everything go to hell because we, again, did something wrong. How long have we been doing something wrong, and how long are we going to keep being punished? And where are you getting these ideas from? Before you realize, like, damn, this punishment is a little indefinite. You know, if you do punish a people long enough, they become immune to it. Have you ever punished children too much? Have you ever seen children punished for so long that they become immune to the punishment and then the lesson is lost because they've been punished for so long? Have you ever seen a woman abused for so long she starts to believe she's doing something wrong and starts confiding in the abuser because the punishment has been going on for so long? It changes, it switches a mechanism in your mind, and you start trying to make sense out of nonsense. You're making sense out of nonsense. But we all afraid to spit on the floor where the church is at. We're afraid to drop the Bible. But guess what? I've been free for so many years now. I'm so happy that I no longer believe in that crap. Oh, let's do this. Let's go to the awards. All you people believe in God, right? So how come you applaud when these rappers and these singers get up there and say, I like to thank God? When these people in film thank God for the roles that they play as killers, murdering left and right, senselessly. Serial killers in movie, playing a role of murderers. And then they go up there and they thank God after acting like the devil. And all you Christian folk, and all you Hebrew folk, and all you other religious people, you applaud and you say yes. Because if they don't thank God, you think something's wrong with them. If the person pretending to kill people in their music or in their film doesn't thank God first and foremost, you don't want to support them. You need to make sure that the people that are propagating the fratricidal war amongst black folk in their own community through their lyrics, the people that are disseminating misogynistic content in their music, the people that are slaughtering other human beings in their film, if they don't thank God first and foremost before they thank everyone else, you won't support them. They have to make sure they thank God for playing the role of the devil. They have to make sure they thank God first and foremost for making them millionaires, for propagating or disseminating or promulgating negative themes into our consciousness that we in turn perpetuate in our community. Right or wrong? Do you believe in the devil? I don't believe in none of that craziness. I don't believe in none of that craziness. I'm just asking y'all. It could be you probably part of the gospel or the ghost spell. I'm just saying, if you're religious, you don't gotta disrespect me like you're doing now, like I prophesied. You so filled with the heavenly and Holy Spirit that you mad that I got a platform, almost 1,000 people on here listening right now. You mad that God hasn't empowered you with the same spirit that I have. And all I'm saying is this: convert me. Make sense out of why the baby hit by the stray bullet is part of God's plan. Make sense to why pedophiles get away with having sex with minors and forcing themselves on minors. Make sense out of that. Why God doesn't step in and say, yo, hold on, fam. This child ain't even get a chance to sin. Oh no, the child was born in sin. But then if someone died for our sins, you see, now you're going to start reading all sorts of quotes and verses, but the truth be told, you don't have a reason. You don't have an explanation. Share this video. Share this video. Share it all over. And I ain't wake up angry about God. But I wanted to do this in a bedroom setting because it's time for people to wake up. So when you get out your bed the next day and you thank God for getting you up, also thank him for everybody else he didn't allow to wake up, if that's the case. When you get up, say, I like to thank God for waking me up every day in the morning. And you women sound like you having an affair or committing adultery with Jesus. Oh yeah, he wake you up, he do everything good for you, right? You don't respect the black man no more. You respect this damn bozo make-believe character that they call Jesus. And the black man over here is struggling, busting his behind every day, day in and day out, doing the best he can with the society, working to push him down as well as you, sister, which you unbeknown to many of you. But you will accredit Jesus before you accredit this black man for his hard working ethic. You will undermine Marcus Garvey and the works of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad before you dare give them credit. You will now adorn and revere a Jesus Christ. That's what you do. That's what you do. But you'll call me the devil and you'll tell everybody to turn away from me. Don't listen to him because your religion is weak. You should be able to listen to me and stay strong in your religion. But you know why your religious family tells you don't listen to Brother Polight? Because it makes so much sense that they say, man, he's a special type of devil. He can hypnotize you with the words. He knows how to confound you with the devil's language. And after they finish exegeting into your consciousness, they have you afraid to question that which needs to be asked. And if anything's a form of divinity, is your ability to embark upon the interrogatives. It is your ability to ask questions. If anything has anything to do with divinity, it is your ability to question. Question. Okay? So if we pool our funds as a community, I believe we would get a lot more done quicker and in a more efficient manner than if we all sat together and we prayed. Put all the people together that prayed, like in Charleston, where the white man came in and murdered everybody in the church. Yeah, put them together. And while they're praying to God, God don't even stop that white man from murdering 6 black women and 3 men. The progenitors of society, the wombs from which we derive. God didn't step in and stop that white man from murdering them in church. That is the biggest mockery you could ever hear. Those black people were not safe from the white man that came in and murdered those black people while they was praying. And guess what those black people's remedy was? The survivors. They went in the next day when they was allowed to go back in God's house. And they prayed for the people that got murdered while they was praying. They prayed for the people that got murdered while they was praying. They prayed for the people that got murdered while they was praying. And if anyone tells you, you want to reconsider this God thing, they make you feel guilty. They make you feel crazy. Put the power in your own hands. Get yourself a mentor. Get on your grind. This system is designed to see to it that you fail. They're supposed to teach you food, clothing, and shelter when you go to school. You know why? Because that's what you need when you leave school to function as an adult. But if you look at it, many of you leave school not knowing how to cook, you don't know how to sew, you don't know how to crochet, and you definitely know nothing about credit, nor do you know anything about amelioration and restitution of properties, nor do you know anything about mortgage hypothecation or the difference or distinction amongst a tenancy deed and a warranty deed. You know nothing about the UCC, nor do you know anything about the security agreements, which is the prerequisite of the acquisition of any property. This is the prerequisite step that you're supposed to take before you acquire any property. You should know these things. So you go from pre-K to 12th grade, which is from pre-K to 12th grade. From pre-K to 12th grade, which is 14 years of school. And they're supposed to prepare you to be an adult. And they made you carry all sorts of ones. And they made you wait so you could get free time during gym. And they gave you a whole bunch of things to do. But all the while, you never learned how to become an adult. But you don't see the setup. And these are the same people who gave you your God concept. And I always ask, before black people were introduced to a very young doctrine in the form or presented by the Bible or presented by the Quran, what was we doing prior? What was we doing prior? What was we doing prior? What did we confide in prior to being introduced to their religions. What was we doing prior to being kidnapped? You call it slavery, let's call it kidnapping first and then enslavement. They took you from one place and put you somewhere else. And that contradicted the gene food consistency. Gene food consistency stipulates that where a people are from genetically, they have an affinity to that which grows within the confines of that environment. You throw off the ecological system as well as the gene food consistency ratio when you displace masses of people, because now those people have to consume more food than nature has accommodated for in a different environment for different people. And when you remove people out of one environment and put them into another environment, those people no longer have their urine going into the ground nor their excrement going into the ground, which produces certain plants, which feeds certain animals, which keeps ecology going, so you can have what Mother Nature does in an assessment to produce the herbs that you need. Yes, you gotta go real fast. Yes, you gotta go real fast. I'm live. I suppose, yes. Just go for it. I got you. I gotta get off. Just use your discretion. Sorry about that. I always get called when I'm on live, and my family know I'm on live. So listen, when you take a people out of their environment, or you take any group or any species out of an environment, there's going to be a domino effect of chaos that will transpire. What nature does, it takes your blood, your sweat, your tears, your urine, your excrement, and it decides what kind of foods need to be grown specifically for you. So your mangoes will be different from someone else's. The Haitian mango will be different from the Mexican mango. The Ecuadorian red banana will be different from the yellow banana that everybody else has, because there's a gene food consistency. Nature's constantly making an assessment and transmitting this information to the environment to keep you alive. So if the trees are growing way higher than you can reach the food on the tree, then those trees aren't for you, because nature is not going to make food difficult for you to reach. Think about it. This is real talk. This is real talk. But you see, religion's not going to teach you about gene food consistency. They're going to teach you to pray. So people believe in God so much, why are you sending your family to the hospital? Why don't you just pray for them? But you send them to the hospital and pray for them, and they still die because the hospital is only going to give you hospitality. And we know they work in a ritual on you, because when you go to the pharmacy, which in Greek is pharmakeia, so pharmacy in Greek is pharmakeia. Pharmakeia is what? Sorcery or witchcraft. Let's move forward. So you go to the Rite Aid pharmacy, R-I-T-E, which is ritual. So you go to a place, they don't say it's the correct pharmacy like R-I-G-H-T. They say it's the Rite Aid pharmacy. And pharmacy is Greek, pharmakeia, etymologically, of course. Pharmacy is pharmakeia, and pharmakeia is witchcraft or sorcery. And rite is a ritual, R-I-T-E. So when you go to Rite Aid pharmacy, they're performing a ritual on you by giving you those drugs that transform your ability to think. So look at our children that they constantly saying are suffering from ADHD, which is a hoax, because there's no actual way to diagnose someone or people in a consistent basis for ADHD. It's not consistent. It's opinionated. It's at the discretion of the person saying that somebody is sick. So our children are being prescribed all sorts of drugs for something that basically is under pseudoscience pretense. So our children are being drugged up. They're performing sorcery. So even if you look at the vaccinations, they put dead baby fetuses in them, caterpillar eggs, mercury, the second most poisonous thing on planet Earth. They put all these different things, formaldehyde, another very toxic entity. Well, let's just pray. Let's not educate ourselves. Let's just pray. Let's just pray that it all goes away. Now, I pray. If you pray, who do you pray to? You see, there you go. You believe that I got to be trying to pray to somebody that you made up in your head, that someone else made up in their head, and you just following popular rumor. No, I'm transmitting impressions in the universe to get a response back. You put something out there, you get something back. You pray, put the information out. But you know what they don't tell you to do? There's involution, evolution, and revolution. There's inception, conception, and birth. What does that mean? There's the antecedent, the precedent, and then the consequent. What does any of this have to do with anything? This is the problem. Before a child is conceived, a child has to undergo inception, 3 perfect ovulations. So a child is actually 1 year old when it comes out the womb, because it's 3 months inception, 9 months conception, and then there's birth. There's inception, conception, and birth. There's involution, evolution, and revolution. There's the antecedent, the precedent, and then the consequent. But we always miss the inception, the involution, and the antecedent. That's what we miss. That's what we miss. So yes, I believe in money. I believe in money more than I believe in God. I believe you put the people here who pool their funds to change the situation versus the people over there who pray for the situation to change. I personally believe, this is my belief system, that the people who pool their funds is going to get results in real time. And all these positive people, these people can be very positive. But I'm going to tell you, there's a group of negative people. There's a group of negative people in this world working together to give us hell. And it's working every day because they had the intelligence to pool their funds and pool their resources to execute a plan to dominate us. And these are the same people. It is my contention. These are the same people who gave us the religions to slow us down and stagnate us. And while we kumbaya, we shall overcome. And I'm not saying something's wrong with meditation, because I meditate. And this is what brings me back to the antecedent, the precedent, and the consequent. Involution, evolution, and revolution. Inception, conception, and birth. We're always missing the thing before the thing. We will get seconds, but we won't have first in our mind. We'll have seconds and minutes. And X amount of seconds give you X amount of minutes. But you won't have first. No, someone was born second, so their time starts in seconds. Our time should start in first. And a group of firsts is made up of moments. But I know. Over the head. What's up, boo? I know.
I think I should like order pizza or make spaghetti.
Over the head. It's always better to cook food, boo. Over the head. What's up, baby girl?
Hi, Instagram.
This time we're on Facebook.
Facebook.
So, you know, I'm just saying, there's always something that comes first. So, we're going to pray. Talk. Send messages out. But what if your phone was only one way? What if you only can call out because you ain't pay your whole phone bill, so they letting you get only half the service? You be pissed off, right? Because you sending messages out. You sending text messages out. You phone calling people, but you can't get a response back. Right or wrong? But you can't get a response back. What happens? You get frustrated. Oh, that's what we're doing with prayer. They got you sending messages out. Now, how many of these religious institutions are telling you is as equally important to meditate as it is to pray? Because meditation is when you receive. So one is the reception. And one is the transmission. One is you're transmitting thoughts. You should also receive. If you're going to put information out, how come you're not going to wait for something to come back? And introspection is the medium between the two. So you have prayer, which is to send the information out, and you have meditation, which is to receive from that which you put out. And introspection is the medium or the liaison between the two, because With introspection, you're questioning why you feel the way you feel and why you think the way you think, because you don't want to take things out of context from your projections or from your reception. So you got to do both. But they have us on one side of the world meditating, the other side of the world praying. Instead of combining it, because in genius, you're supposed to become a whole brain thinker. Geniuses are whole brain thinkers. And because the planet is on the 23.5 degree axis, or 23 and a third, how you want to call it, because the planet is on the axis, guess what? You lean to one side more than the other. The toilet bowl spins clockwise here and counterclockwise over there. The steering wheel is on the left side over here. It's on the right side over there, on the eastern hemisphere. In order for us to get the spiritual higher revelation, we communicate it, we verbalize it, we talk it. We do speeches, we do lectures, and we do prayers. On the other side of the world, they do meditation and they do breathing exercises. These things are not coincidences. People are obese over here. That's what we're suffering from. People are malnutrition over there, and most times being translated into them being skinnier. Though people can be overweight and malnutrition as well, but on the average, we'll find that they're slimmer. This is not by accident. Those of us that is blessed to travel, it stimulates brain activity and helps neurons transmit from one side, one cerebral hemisphere to the next cerebral hemisphere, thus sewing the brain together by way of what you call dendrites. And the more the brain is sewn together, the higher your IQ, the more rational you become. So there's a blessing to traveling. You'll find a lot of people have their epiphanies when they travel, especially if they go to quiet places. So when you read the narrative of a lot of ancient cultures, someone had to go into the mountains where there's less societal influence or noise pollution. You'll find that this is the reality. This is how we take ourselves to the next level. It's real talk. A lot of this can be solved just through simple applications. But you can sit there and you can believe that if you pray, and kiss some fictional characters behind, things will change. I'm reporting to you live from the Boom Boom Room. This is Brother Polight. I'm not done. I just wanted to give you a word from our sponsors, because we got to pay the bills. This is the Boom Boom Room. But today, we're going to spend some time talking to the people, because I want y'all to wake up. So I said, I want to do this on my bed. I want to speak to y'all live from on my bed. Share this video, family. Wake our people up. Share this video. And watch how they get all nervous and afraid. Watch how they look at you like you're the devil and how I'm the devil. And they'll make us evil. But I haven't said anything negative. In fact, I'm not even imposing my ideas on you. I'm just saying, hey, I'll ask you guys, honestly speaking, how do you think the so-called devils of this world seem to go far and beyond, way more ahead of the positive people? Because the devils of this world are way more aggressive. And I'm just using devil figuratively, when we don't believe in all that crap. But they're way more aggressive than God's people. God's people will watch people mock their own doctrine. You got good people that consider themselves God's people, that applaud other people for thanking God when they know damn well they make a living doing nothing but what religious people would say, doing demonic things. Like I said, when people in sports, music, and entertainment do incredibly wicked things or make a living just simply propagating messages of selling drugs and shooting each other in the black community, like we were to follow after the lyricism of many of the people who are in business as artists, if we were to apply what they say in their lyrics every day, well, we will wind up with the dysfunctions we see in the community now. We will wind up with the dysfunctions that we see in the community now. These are facts. These are facts. And here we go with the Bible quotes. Matthew 18:15. What is that going to do for us if there's a group of people here who wise enough to work together, but they don't believe in a damn thing, versus a group of people who all believe in positivity and righteousness and the 10 Commandments and Noah's Ark and Abraham, the father of religion, and don't give me that regular religion, give me that old time religion. Mustafa, Prophet Musa, and Maryam, and well, get all those religious people. Get your best group of religious people. And they got nothing on the wicked in the world today. Because the wicked in the world today, no, all of that is BS. All they got to do is organize, strategize, educate themselves, and execute that plan. And they're going to beat these wishers every damn day. You'll get all these stories about the wall of Jericho and a group of people together chanting and turning things around. Yeah, I hear you. I'm not saying we don't have a seldom seen majestic spirit that dwells within us all. I'm not saying that, but there's a time and a place for it. Let's get a little economic momentum, and then what get us over the top is our spirituality. Let the spiritual incentive be, let's organize. And let us have more faith in our logic, in our mind, in our abilities than these crazy books, giving us all sorts of fairy tales, making us sit here with this idea that someone's coming for us. Because I'm going to tell you, if you believe in God and you bear witness to slavery at the same time, you think that black people are cursed and they deserved everything they got. Because there's no way I can believe in God and identify with slavery into contemporary times, police brutality, and not question, yo, God, when you going to let up on our people? When are you going to let up? Okay, we did something wrong. But damn it, pardon my language, how much wrong did our race really do to deserve this? And you ask people this, yeah, because we're not following his laws. Some of us are, and it ain't doing nothing for them. And the church got your mother still not being able to see her ankles, suffering from high blood pressure because the food they serving in there. What part of that is godly? Y'all still eating swine in the church. Y'all still putting sugar all over some pig's behind with pineapples and cloves. Y'all still eating smoked neck bone and lima bean and vinegar all in there. Acidic. What part of that is God? What part of that is God? You tell me that. What part of that is God? Pray for Houston. No. Send some money. That's what you should just say. Pray for who? Pray for Houston, right? Pray to who? The same person that allowed it to happen? 1 minute you're telling me to pray for Houston as if that's going to change the situation. Because who am I praying to when I pray to Houston? Because it can't be the same guy that let that happen in the first place. You see, you don't want me to say that. But then if I ask you, give me some logic behind it. Give me some of the mathematics behind why things like that have to happen to good people. Or the people in general. When is God going to start saying, man, I got to stop punishing y'all. I've been punishing y'all for feel me? I've been punishing y'all forever. I know. You think I'm the devil. I know. But yo, I became free when I let go of that crazy God stuff. There we go. Come save me, religious people. Polight, if Christ isn't real, explain away Bible prophecies materialize. Give me your so-called Bible prophecies right now. Tell me your Bible prophecies and what that got to do with believing in God. Because if a black man gave you some prophecies right now, you wouldn't follow him and everything he says, every word. You would still be skeptical of him. So I'm going to do this. Let's say the Bible has some prophecies there. Does it mean we should kiss the behind of the so-called imaginary man in the background because a book has some prophecies in it? Let's go with it. Let's say the Bible has nothing but prophecies in it. I'm going to explore your logic. The Bible has prophecies, right? What does that got to do with us believing in God? You don't know if he's even in existence or not. What does that have to do with why he's saving some and letting most die? What does that have to do with why he let us go through getting our balls cut from us? Why he tied you black women to horses and made the horses go separate directions? while he experimented on us and injected us with syphilis. Look at the Tuskegee experiments. Why he don't intervene and stop it? The Bible has prophecies, Polight. What the hell does that got to do with my balls being cut off? Okay, the Bible has prophecies. While those prophecies was in the Bible, our balls were still being cut. We were still being castrated. We were still being emasculated. We were still being raped, robbed, and pillaged. And the only thing you can tell me is that the Bible has prophecies, though, Polight. So lighten up on God. After all, there are prophecies in there. So you just tell me you're scared of someone who might have a whole lot more knowledge than you. So now it's time to kiss their butt. Just say that. Just say, man, I'm just afraid the person got more knowledge. Because that's what you're telling me. So next, and I still wait for you to give me some prophecies. Let me see what these prophecies are that's making you override your logic. Give me some of these dang prophecies that you excited about. That's making you ignore the fact that, yo, fam, we still was being enslaved. We still was being enslaved. Show me prophecy after prophecy. What do those prophecies have to do with us going through all this hell? And you're going to turn around, oh, I got an answer for that, because we was breaking laws, right? We wasn't following his code. So once our people start following his laws, the God ain't got no better way. Why he got to have us getting shot in the head, raped, robbed, and pillaged, castrated, beat down, brutalized, slandered, imprisoned, falsely incarcerated, political prisoners of conscience? Why we got to go through all of that? Because we ain't following his rules. After a while, your society is out of control because you ain't created perfect. You ain't created us perfect. So that's why everything's going to hell. You knew that from day one. You got the nerve to punish us? You made us in your image and after your likeness. So if I'm out of control, you're out of control. If I'm a whack job, you're a whack job. But I'm starting to feel like I got way more consciousness than this so-called God being that you're talking about. Do I really need a book to tell me I shouldn't kill? Or I need to love my mother and love my father? That should be written for animals. I believe I'm born with that genetically embedded into my psychology. Psalms 23, my favorite verse. I spit queens about, yo, okay, man. I see you, but I'm not going to knock you. I want y'all to convert me that's religious out there. Because I'm asking some questions. Now, you say the Bible got prophecies, you move your chest move. And my answer to that is, despite those prophecies, we still was being murdered and emasculated. What good is the prophecy if we on the receiving end of a behind whooping? Talk to me. I'm still looking for you religious people to give me some answers. I want to do this respectfully. I wish I could take your calls right now off this phone and go in. I'm looking for an answer. Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with asking why God is doing all this, because you see, if you put up enough questions, maybe you get an answer back. I've come to the conclusion it's BS. Someone embellished on the God concept. They OD'd. If they would have just made God imperfect, that's the number one thing you got to do. God cannot be perfect. And I think by proxy, if God is not perfect, you've now brought him closer to perfection in doing so. Once you say God is perfect, you've made him imperfect. Because you would never agree to all the stuff that God does in the first place for you to even conclude he's perfect in the first place. So you're going to turn around and tell me God is perfect, and you're going to turn around and disagree with things that go on in this world right after that. You're not just going along with everything that goes on in this world. You're going to disagree with things that take place in this world, whether you like it or not. But you're going to turn around and tell me God is perfect, but disagree with things that's going on in the world. And for he who has the love of the Father in him, you cannot love the world if you have the love of the Father in you. But the Father so loved his Son that he gave up. The Father so loved the world that he gave up his only begotten Son. John 3:16. For he so loved the world, he gave up his only begotten Son. But if you have the love of the world in you, the love of the Father isn't in you. Eye for an eye. Hit me, I'm going to hit you back. Turn the other cheek. Hit me, and I keep walking. What kind of insanity is this? Love the world, don't love the world. Get hit in the face, hit him back, don't hit him back. All of this in the same book, family. All of this is in the same book. And the only thing people can say to me at the end of the day is, I can't believe you're questioning God. Like I want to use bad words. Like I give a heck. And I don't give a heck, because I'm going to show you. You know, people slip. Something bad happened to people who question God. Hey, look it. That's because he don't believe in God. That's what you're waiting for. But what about all the good people dying of cancer, dying of diabetes, that the church is feeding them the food that's landing them into diabetes, putting them into cancer? All that fried food and fried chicken destroying your prostate and giving you womb cancer, suffering from prolapse of uterus. Your church is doing that to you. Your so-called halal food killing animals senselessly. Talking about we killing them so quick the adrenaline don't get to rush, so it's halal food, so it's not as poisonous as all the other food. But still you eating red meat. Ain't no such thing as red meat. That meat supposed to be gray or brown once the oxygen hits it. They pump it with carbon monoxide because they know you would find red meat more appealing than gray or brown. So they pump it with carbon monoxide to give it its red color. Ain't no red meat out here. And that's poisonous. So don't tell me it's halal food and it's red at the same time. Oh, you eating lamb too. But you had the anthrax scare from the terrorists, from the lamb. You had anthrax scare. But lamb is filled with anthrax. Remember they's putting anthrax in people's mail? And people just dying from opening up the letters? Opening up their mail? But after the anthrax scare, you're going to eat lamb. See, your religion don't prepare you for this. Why your religion don't got you eating vegan food? Okay? I'm a vegan and a believer of Jesus Christ. Go on, boo. I'm with you. I'm with you. You need to save the rest of that church. Eating them ham hocks. There should be something in that scripture that makes you all go vegan. Where's that at? You did that of your own free will and accord, because God don't make concessions to vegans. God is telling you which fish is best to eat. If it has scales, what food you can eat. If it has hoofs, God is breaking it down. Like, yo, you're going to slaughter these animals now. You're going to kill them, whether you like it or not. So you see, sister, you know you got to go against the grain. How dare you be a vegan while a follower of Jesus Christ? Was Jesus Christ a vegan? How dare you? You're not Christ-like, sister. And I'm not saying this. I am saying this to antagonize you, but I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. I'm just provoking you thought-wise. Just provoking your consciousness so you can maybe ask some questions as well. There's no way I'm in an endeavor to disrespect you, my sister. I just want to say that clearly. But we got to ask some questions. Because if you're a follower of Christ, you got no business being vegan, because the homie was eating meat too. He was multiplying the fish along with the bread. You got no business being vegan. You better follow Jesus Christ. You better follow after his way. You got some nerve deviating from Christ's word. Okay? And now again, as someone said, I noticed they hating instead of stating facts. Religious brothers and sisters, I'm doing my best to read your comments. There are a lot of comments here. Give me some explanations, family. Give me some explanations. Jesus Christ is a vampire. Now, I would start believing in vampires if you say Christ is one. Leeching off the black community. And many shall come in his name. Many have come in his name. No one cares about that. They're your preachers. They came in his name. Now, I ain't mad at them making their bread. I believe in the preacher's God. I just don't believe in the God of the people who follow the preachers. The preacher's God is delivering. The followers of the preacher's God, I don't know. Their God is a little iffy. Maybe they not learning how to pray the right way. The preacher, though, his God exists, as far as I'm concerned. I don't even talk against preachers, if you notice that. I don't really got much to say about them, because their God may strike me with lightning. Their God is giving them jets off GP. So what's a little lightning? I don't mess around and slander no damn preachers. I stay away from them. I'm going to hunt you followers down, but I ain't dealing with them preachers, because they God, if anybody God exists, them preachers God exists. The preacher. The followers, I don't know. Where did humans come from if God's didn't create them? You see how people say these things. You just say these things. But we going to deviate from the slavery part, right? Why is God allowing all of that? See, I'm not the type that you can turn around and deviate from the question at hand. We talking about Houston? Because I'm not going to keep getting bombarded with these pray for Houston memes. I'm pray to who? Is this the same God that was in existence during slavery, all those hundreds of years? Is this the same God that is in office during this police brutality? We still praying to, homie? We still looking for results? But that's just a nice thing to say, you know, our prayers go out to you. You know, that's pretty cool if your prayers go to the people and you wishing those people best. I think that's dope. But once you start saying, oh, pray to God, so that message go to him and come back down to impact the world and those people, I start asking questions like, what's all of that about? I don't understand. Money is God. It's not up for discussion. I mean, on the money it says in God we trust, and that gets tricky. But I'm going to tell you this. I believe in the power of the money before I believe in the power of God. And you're probably, oh my gosh, he's the devil. But as I said this. And it's really the power of the people that use the money to be more legitimate in my postulation. But I'm going to provoke you a little bit more, and I'm going to say that I believe in the money over God. It's more provoking. You know, if you play this back enough, you know the power's in the people, okay, and the decisions that they make as a collective. That's the moral of the story. People could take this, sensationalize, and go crazy because they're not going to excerpt that part, because religious fanatics need to make sure they can win souls over, to drag you, have your foot dragging at a very slow pace in order for you to come up. This is true. What if God is working in my personal life? It is not my business to tell you that God is not working in your personal life, but it is my business on this stream to tell you my perspective. So I'm not going to go on my way and tell you God is not saving you, because if you believe God is saving you, the power of the mind is called placebo. You can give somebody a placebo pill and make them believe that this pill was designed to help heal them. And in turn, by that very conviction, they would be healed, though they were lied to. Hint, hint. Same thing going on with the scriptures. Hint, hint. Some of your lives are some of you have some amazing stories about how God saved you. Unbeknown to you, the pill that they gave you was a false pill. It's a false doctrine. And just like someone can give you a placebo pill and have you under the pretense that this pill was designed to get rid of your disease, and then you get rid of your cold, or you get rid of any other ailment or idiopathic disorder that you have, and unbeknown to you that you was only saved by your belief and your belief alone, not so much the ingredients in the pill. So they fed you a lie, but you believed in it so much that you was able to do something with it. So then my question goes, how about we stop the lying and we just work on the mental faculty that exists within us all, the ability to govern circumstances in our life? Because it's been proven on several occasions how powerful lies can be and work to our better advantage. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but you can be lied to for your own good according to the person or people lying to you. And in turn, or you could be lied to for so long, your belief in the lie, coupled with your positivity and your incentive to do better for yourself or for your people, drives you or propels you into a better state. So what I'm telling you is, religion is that false pill that you've been fed, and now you found a way through your conviction, through your faith, through your belief, really in yourself. But the working model that they gave you is under the veil of religion. And you believe in it so much, you believe in its mysticism and its power so much, that it has actually worked for you to a certain extent. But then it runs out, because at the end of the day, it's still falsehood. So when you like, okay, this thing is working, so now you start thinking you don't really have to do much because this thing is already doing it for you. And that's when you start coming up short. You see, when you start really believing and, oh my God, please get me out of the situation, please. When you focus on getting out of situations so much and you objectively focus on the lie that they gave you, as though that objective focus, the host of that objective focus, is actually true. When you say, hey, well, this is God, this is my situation, and I'm going to focus on my connection with God because God has the power to deliver me. You believe in that so much, you will be delivered. But it's only a matter of time that you decide, well, you know what? This God is so powerful, separate and different from me. I ain't really got to do all that hard work I was putting in before with the belief, because God is already on my side. And there you go. Your nephew dies. And there you go. You lost your job. And you got to get real down on yourself again, to dig deep within yourself, to confide in the liar again, to create or control or govern circumstances that exist within and without you for you to see change again. You see, we see change when we get real low, and all we can do is believe in ourselves. Even if we think we're believing in something else, we're just objectively focusing on something else. So you're projecting the image in your mind that you're connecting to something, and you're using your own powers to facilitate the same. Believe it or not, belief is a hell of a drug. It's the greatest placebo we have working for and against us in the community. It's a hell of a drug. The belief in oneself, self-hypnotism, can work wonders on you if you know how to use the faculties of the mind. If you know how to convince yourself. If you know how to persuade yourself to the point of recognizing your potential that you may not have been able to conceive, potential that you may have to cultivate yourself into thinking on it for long periods of time before it could come to fruition. But when it does, you'll be able to do masterful things, uncanny and unparalleled to that of your peers. The belief in oneself, the acknowledgement of one's potential. Now we start to transcend belief and we start dealing with what we know. Because you might be 20, you might be 30, you might be 40 years old, and you still believe in yourself. But where's the knowledge of self? Where's the know of self? Are you in the know of self? Are you aware of your own hidden, latent, or dormant potential? Are you aware of it? Are you aware how to access it? See, religion has helped us tap into a little bit of our potential by way of belief. But because of the falsification, because of the false conveyance, we've been limited in our ability to access it, because Jesus worked many miracles and Jonah worked many miracles. And in fact, many prophets worked so many miracles that it was beyond us to create our own miracles. Huh? Here's another religious nut. Did you cause Dr. Sebi's death by selling him out? See, this is religious people. It's a different form of religion. And people are suffering from psychosis. No, I'm with you. I understand the money is God thing. I hear what you're saying. I said money is my religion. To be accurate, I told people money is my religion. I ain't telling them it was my God. I said, and when you study that lecture, I said if we put the same zealousness into studying economics and facilitating the same that we do into these religions, which is our scapegoat, because we don't want to study. We don't want to read that long. We just want to believe things is going to manifest without us accessing or unlocking corridors in our consciousness or unleashing our own potential. Yeah, James chapter 2, verse 20. I know what you're talking about. O vain man, though I tell you faith without works is dead. I know what y'all talking about. But what I'm telling you is, God is just an objective focus. You are the force that makes these things go round. Us as a collective would be the closest demonstration of what God would be. All of us. All our potential. See, when they say God is omnipresent or omnipotent, the only thing I see is then that spirit force that they're making note of will have to exist in all of us, the animals, the planet, Earth, every single thing. And so for one to truly be in tune or connected to God, one would have to be connected to all things simultaneously. And this in science is called quantum entanglement or quantum mechanics, the ability to be in more than one place at the same time. And then this is, now we got to go into non-locality. We got to go into different themes in science and space physics. See, we're not going to get away from that. Yes, the post said, I have more money and faith than God. Well, I got to reread it. I hope they don't say that, but I always correct it. I said more faith and money than God. Okay. So I'm just talking to you all. I love you. I appreciate you. Again, I'm doing my best to not be offensive. I have to be provocative, but I don't want to be offensive. I just want to provoke consciousness. Okay? If we kept it real and we stopped the sensationalism about what we think God is, more of us can chew. More of us can walk with you in the matter. But this fanatical concept, this extremist concept of God is perfect and he's everywhere and he knows all things and he does all things and he knows when we sleep and he knows when he's awake, when we're awake, and he's concerned about the mundane things that take place in each individual's life. And because then now you got to start asking God questions. You know, some of you think homosexuality is evil. I'm not going to tell you my take on that because I don't want to distract you from the point. If homosexuality is evil to some of you religious people out there, then if God created all things like it says in the Bible, he created all things, created good, bad, he created light, he created day, he created all things, then he created homosexuality. You know, then why would God feel the necessity to have to create homosexuality? And some of you would say to test his children. So he's going to test his children to or against that which you call wicked or evil. I mean, after a while, there's just too many inconsistencies. And why is the baby getting hit by a stray bullet again? Or why do we have crib births? And, you know, I mean, we can hold people accountable and we can really give you legitimate reasons why bad things are taking place. But when you put God into the equation and you commit us to task to confide in the ideas that you associate with God, then who needs accountability? You know, we could just contend that these things are all workings of God when it's actually workings of man. So, you know, take power into your own hands. Get your mentorship program. Yes, my mentorship program works. You know why? Because we're putting power into our own hands. I'll teach you the different streams of income, 3, 6, or 9. Coach you through the process and take this to the next level. That's a fact. And then that's at brotherpolight45@gmail.com. God created free will. There we go for all this other confusion. If I was to really talk to you about that which I know, many of you would kill yourselves. And I'm not joking. I'm a man whose knowledge has taken me to the point where I sleep every other day. I have an exceptional memory. I'm fluent in 8 languages, one of which I created, written over 90 plus books. I'm actually over 100 if you consider the publications that I help put forth of other people that are ghostwrite. And all people could do is turn around and say, you know what, because they believe in this God thing and they believe in all the prophets doing so much miraculous things, I should say, that, hey, this man can't do 100 plus books. This man can't speak all those different languages. Why? I would come too close to the people that they write about. If I were to really speak to you about what's going on this planet, if I was to speak to you about what's about to take place in New York City, y'all would look at me and think I was nuts. But I don't have a spooky rationale as to why I know what I know or why I can do what I do. I'm just working from a realm of logic that all of you have the same potential to access the same information and energy. It's already embedded in you what's about to take place. So sometimes it seems familiar after it happens. And I know that sounds crazy. You could go through an experience and feel like, man, I know it just happened, but damn, it seemed like I kind of anticipated this. And that's why some of you are desensitized to things that transpire, because you kind of get the impression that it was going to happen anyway. You didn't realize it until you got there. It's like when you're going shopping and you're looking for certain clothes, you don't know exactly what you're looking for. Someone says, can I help you? And you're like, oh, no, I'm just looking around. But then when you see those jeans, you say, those are the jeans. That's it. It's almost as if you had anticipated those jeans. But if someone that asked you prior, if you need any help, you would be like, I don't know. I don't need no help. I'm just kind of looking. I'm not too sure what I'm looking for. Then you see exactly what you was looking for. You couldn't tell people you was looking for it prior, but when you seen it, it's what you envisioned. You was already there, but you don't know how to stay there long enough to realize it. Oh. Okay. Okay. And that's what happens, family. That's what happens. Real talk, huh? Every time I shop, I go through that. It's a fact. You already know what it is. Once you decide what you need, you become magnetized to the person, place, or the thing that you need. And when you arrive and it comes to pass, there's a part of you that's excited. And then there's another part of you that's like, well, the shock aspect doesn't exist because for some reason I feel like this is exactly what I envisioned. Because you process this data and you find yourself in the part of the world most immediate to you with the best demonstration or manifestation of that which you're looking for. And that's why we say if you don't manifest, you man-infest. If you're not creative, you're going to be destructive. If you don't manifest, you'll man-infest. Right? Now, I don't have a donation page. When I said please help me, I say it a bit facetiously, and I also say it as a loved one. Because if I'm wrong, if I'm sick because I don't believe in God, rather than people curse me out and say I'm not going to follow you no more, I would like them to work on me. I would like them to show me the way. I wanted to read something here that would change my worldview. I'd like to read something to see if it changed up our worldview. I don't know. Why is it so important for this person to say that I'm killed Dr. Sabi? Why is that so important to you? Dang, where do people get these crazy ideas from? Like, why is it important for people to spread these weird rumors? How you know and nobody else know? How you know that? You just hate me so much you would make me kill somebody who taught me, who saved my life? Are you kidding me? Come on, move out of here. Yeah, I keep seeing this thing popping up over and over. I'm like, you're working very hard to distract people from the points. You sold him out. All right, let me get rid of you. Can you just leave? I have to block you, Patrice. You're too silly.